Welcome back. This is the next day since you've last watched the last part 2. You know what I'm like with all these builds. People who've been subscribed long enough, or anybody who's gone through all my videos, I don't do what everybody else does because that's not teaching you anything. All that's teaching you is make sure how you do it properly in the first place. So I'm doing it different again. So like I did that completely different. So I'll put it in a Commodore 16 case, which nobody's ever done. So this time I've got a 500 case, which my 500 was in. We had that wall mounted 500, and then eventually I put it in a case. I bought a case off of eBay and it was smashed to pieces. Unfortunately, you won't see that video because that's one of the videos what got deleted off my SD card. But I might have 2 little videos of me trying to repairing it. But you can see down here one of the repair job there. What happened was it broke across here, broke down there, broke off there, it broke across there. This was literally hanging on by this bit over here, literally. It was also broke over here, and then the bottom was broke on the bay door. Now, this is all fixed. I've sprayed it and everything and put that in there, but I'm going to use it now. So what I'm going to do, see the floppy? Yeah, I'm not putting a GoTech in it. I'm deleting it. Yeah, filling it in. So I've been downstairs watching some crap on YouTube while I've been cutting these out. So that's just a spacer for the back, and that is a floppy drive port with the top bit on. Was cut it out. If I can remember which way it went, I think it went that way. I stick it in. Hang on a minute. Let me in. It's gone dark again. So it's clear plastic. So, but it is filled the gap in, and then the spacer just drops down the back of it because there is a little gap between it and the lid. You see the little gap there? There's a tiny little gap in between the plastic and the lid. And the spacer just goes, slides in there, and that makes it almost flush. So what I can do is I can fill that with some epoxy and then file it and smooth it down, so that's just completely flush. See? And then I've got to do the same to this little notch here. I need to square that off and fill that, and then that's the floppy drive deleted. There's a little notch here for the eject button, which the other half of that notch is on the base for the eject button. I might be keeping that because I might put a dial switch in there for the GoTech. I'm having a GoTech on it and it'll be installed internally, and then maybe in the distant future I might put an ACA 030 board on there and have a hard drive on it, well, a CF card on there with a WHD load and stuff, but we'll see. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. So what I'm going to do is glue this together, epoxy and fill it, and then once it's done we'll come back and I'll give you a gander at my handiwork ish. Right, all filled in, as you can see there. I filled in the bottom piece as well, so everything's filled in. The only reason you can see it is because it's clear. So I was going to do this next bit off camera, but I'll show you a bit of it on camera, and then I'll do the rest of it off camera because it's a nightmare. It stinks to high heaven, so I generally do it outside. The fumes come off real badly, so I'll only do a bit of it to show you how it's done, and I'll carry it on outside and then leave it to dry overnight. And then tomorrow, well, it'll be dry within about 10 seconds, but I'll leave it, and then tomorrow I'll sand it off a bit. So, right, 2 things you need. I was going to use epoxy, but I've decided I'll do the harder way, the easier way, but it's harder. Sets harder, get me? Yeah, that's what I meant. Super glue. I use Gorilla because it's better than normal super glue. Baking soda. Or powder, baking powder, baking soda. This is called soda. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, we'll do this ridge here. I can't see it. This is why I need to do it off camera, because I can't see it when I'm showing you guys. The super glue to flow out a bit. I'm just going to go all the way down this way, like that. Now, the messy bit, just putting baking soda straight on the worktop in a minute. Right, so I can show you this, but I've got to do it for me as well. So watch you don't get it on your fingers properly, the super glue bit, because the super glue mixes in with this baking soda, it sets like concrete. So I'm just going to tap the excess off. Like that. Get a little brush. Brush. Not my toothbrush. Feel that already. So what's that's done now, it's filled the ridge in a bit. There's still a little gap I need to fill, just the tiny little gap there, which I'll fill now. I'll do that on camera as well, I suppose. The way you do this, you just do layers at a time, layer after layer. What happens, as soon as the baking powder touches the super glue, it sets like concrete, but it does give off fumes, so do be careful. There we go. Now I can see it's filled it. If I show you on profile, see, can you see the bits sticking up, the scraggy bits? It's higher, which is what I wanted, so I can sand it flush to the same height as this. I've got to do that, and then this bit and fill this in, which I'll do outside, so I'll catch you once I've done this. Yeah, wear gloves if you got hands like girls. Right, so it's all filled in, looks a bit bumpy and stuff. That's what we wanted. We want it more raised than the actual case itself, so we can sand it and file it down to the same height and everything. But floppy drive, deletion. Right, you see, what I've done is I've filled it, smoothed it right down and sanded it. So now what I've got to do is mix up a thin layer of epoxy, just thin layer over the top. There's a little, see that little gap there? I'm just going to fill it with epoxy, smooth it right down. But yeah, pretty much when you look at it, same as the other side. Like I said, just keeping that bit for now, because I'm going to put a rotary switch on the bottom case to dial. And I might be deleting that as well. Yeah, anyway, gotta go. Got things to do with this. Right, 4 hours later. So, oh, yeah. So I've done it, deleted, wrong end. Right, so, had a filler coat on it. Let that dry, sand it down, and then a thin layer of epoxy over the top of it. Now, although it feels smooth as well, really does feel smooth, I'm going to give it a thin coat of spray, same colour as this. Yeah, thin coat, just so I can see if there's any blemishes. There probably is blemishes, even though I can't see them, and it looks really smooth and beautiful because I did it. Spraying it lightly, it'll show any blemishes in there. They'll show up. So I'm going to go and spray that now. Let it sit for 10 minutes for the paint to dry. And then I'll have a look and see how much sanding I need to do, if there's any I need to do left. It's getting there. Right. I'm going to do that, and hopefully it won't need any more sanding. Deleted. Yeah, there's a few light imperfections in it, but what I'm going to do is, when I've decided what colour I want this, I mean this colour's 600, 1200 colour, not 500. If I show you, I don't know if it's going to show on camera, probably not, but the inside is 500 and the outside is, yeah, like I said, it probably won't show on camera. But yeah, so it's deleted now. But when I've decided what colour, if I'm going to keep this colour, then I'll just get another tin of it because I've run out now. And then I'll light sand that again and give it another coat, let that dry, light sand it, give it another coat, give the whole thing a coat. But I've got some stuff to do on the front as well yet, so I'm not going to give it its full respray until everything's done. And that's it, that's the deletion done. Yeah. Chuffed with that. Right, completely done, just ready for spray now. Now what I've been doing, took the OLED screen off the GoTech. I've put a rotary, if you can see, put a rotary dial on the GoTech. That one didn't have one, so I've just wired one up onto it. So I've took the measurement of this. You've seen me do this before. I've marked out this there, so this box here at the top, that's where the screen will show, because it's coming in from underneath. Hopefully I'm going to be able to attach it onto the keyboard, so when you lift the lid off, the lid comes completely off and the screen's still on the keyboard. I hope. But things might change. Anyway, so now I've marked it all out like that. I'm just going to cut out the inner, and then with a detail file or a watchmaker's file, just square it off nice and gently, make sure it's all nice and smooth. And the paint's coming today. I'm not sure about the colour, but I have used it before on a 2000, so I'm going to use it on this. And hopefully it looks alright. If it don't, then it's an undercoat. Right, I'll go and cut that out. Right, cut the little window out. What I might do is bevel it down this way a bit, to give it a bit of a bevel. So then when it's like that, you can still see the screen, but just so it's, oh, I'm just pacifying myself. So the OLED screen, it sticks in there like that. Oh God, not like that, hang on. So the screen sticks in like that. That's it. It's alright, don't it? There's a full video of me doing this on in my videos about a year and a half ago on Amiga 500 plus. Same thing. Right, so that's that. So I'm going to go down and bevel this downstairs. It's a messy job, that's why I'm doing it downstairs. So I'm going to give that a slight bevel, and then we'll take a look, and then I think it's ready for spray then. But the paint hasn't turned up yet. It's like done. It's bloody warm doing that. So if you can see now, this has got a little bevel running through it, so it looks OEM. And that should sit there like that. There you go. It should sit there. Base all done. I'm not, oh sorry, not 100% sure about the colour. Yeah, I mean, it's grey. Well, yeah, I know everything else is grey in here, but not sure. It'll do for now. Right, so the screen, that in there. I'm going to put the board in now. It can stay in there. I don't need to take the board out anymore, I don't think. No, because I'm not putting a battery on it, so I don't need to resolder the battery. No, so I'll put it in. Let's show you. Well, you know how to put these bloody things in. Oh God. Come on. Where's my specs? I can't see what's going on here. Get in. There. Pull that back. Push it down. There you go. Board's now in. Yeah. So all these prongs will stick up before the RF shield goes on top. Like I said, this day and age, you don't need to worry about an RF shield. It don't make any difference to it at all. Yeah. There we go. All housed. I don't know if I'm going to, I probably will put the standoffs in. Oh God, it's all crap all over it already. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so I probably will put the standoffs in eventually. But for now, just in case I have to take the board out again. Right, now I need to go and get the trapdoor. Yeah, completely forgot. I ain't got an expansion bay door. So, two choices. I can have a print one off, 3D print one off, or go on eBay and buy one. See if anybody's got one for a tenner maybe. Right, let me go and get the lid and the trapdoor. We'll see what it looks like. I can't show you with the keyboard in because the keyboard's outside cooking. Yeah, retro brightening. So we can get those the F keys back to grey, so it sort of like match this. I hope. You have to do it freehand. There you go. So this little slot here with the eject, that's going here, which you'll see shortly anyway. So that's just for a USB stick. And I might make a hole down here for the rotary switch. And you got the OLED up here. I don't want the rotary switch at the back here, they're pointless, so I'll probably put it down here on this. Just here, there's a little step down. If I put it in there, it should sit. Waiting for the keys to cook. So while waiting for that, I'm going to get a break from all of this for about, well, good 8 hours. I mean, I could work on the GoTech. We'll work on the GoTech once the key's done, I suppose. Yeah, I have to, because I need the keyboard sat in place so I can sit the OLED screen. Don't worry about the cap tape, I'm just using it to stick on this so I can see what it looked like. So I can use the OLED screen to sit on the keyboard, so when you take the lid off, the lid comes off, the OLED screen's still there, in line with the LEDs, like what the LEDs are. Yeah, last time I did that, this was fixed to the lid, so when you took the lid off, then you have to unplug from the GoTech. I don't want that. I want to be able to just take the lid off and it's still there, the lid's just free. Did you get me? No? Yeah, we'll just see anyway, eventually. Yeah. Right, that paint's supposed to be quick drying. It's taken 2 days to dry properly. Yeah, I'm not impressed with that paint. Unfortunately, as you can see, I've retro brighted these. It wasn't a great day yesterday. It was sunny, cloudy, so it didn't get a full retro bright. But however, it's still not the right colour, even if it was retro brighted to the full. I wanted the, there is 2 types of keys. There's these ones which are just slightly off white. They're sort of like a yellowy white, which they are generally that colour. And these ones are like a browny grey. But then there's another set which the keys are almost white. And these are virtually grey. Yeah, unfortunately, this isn't the set. I'd have preferred the other ones. But you go on eBay, and somebody's selling the keyboards, the grey, the white ones with the grey tops, 110 quid. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not paying that for a keyboard. So yeah, so that's gave me a little problem. But other than that, yeah, so see the OLED screen sat there. there's a dial switch down here. It's not staying here, it's going over here. The USB is going where that is. The eject button for the floppy drive. So if I have to take the lid off, like that. So you see the lid's off, no OLED screen. There you go. Yeah, ignore this mess. The OLED screen's here, sat on the keyboard. So you can take the lid off, whereas the last one I did of this mod, the OLED screen was hot glued to the lid. So when you took the lid off, there was a cable. Well, now there isn't. You take the lid off completely, and that's all set. I've got to tidy it up and sort it all out. So what I'm going to do is make a little. Just going to move this. What the hell's going on there? Make a little stand bracket for that, so we'll get that stood over here properly. And then move that, like I said, to underneath here, which I need to drill a hole for in a minute. Put the USB adapter here, where this is. If I can get this off. So that's the USB adapter. So that will plug into the GoTech here, which will extend the USB socket to over here, which goes there in the eject button, which fits perfect. And I probably will hot glue that in there, or super glue it, either one, but only to the bottom case. To the top case just sits on that. So it's going to need a seriously good glue to keep that in place there. Right, so I'm going to go and drill a hole in the side of this case for that dial switch. And oh yeah, that's a problem. I don't know if these this cable, oh, it might be long enough. Yeah, it might be long enough. Right, let me go and drill that. Right, so what I've done, I've created two standoffs. Well, not created, took them out of a spares controller, little standoffs, and I've hot glued them, one to the board and one to the frame here. And as you can see, there's one screw, two screw holding it down. That's plenty enough. I'm not too sure about that standoff staying though, because hot glue doesn't really stick to sheet metal very well. But we'll see how long it lasts. So that's the USB, the dial's in. What I've got left is to wire this to this, but I want it as a plug-in to make it easier. So if somebody takes the keyboard out, all they have to do is unplug that and unplug that. Job done. And I've just put the bloody thing away. I had the thing that I could use, but I've just put it away. Hang on, 2 ticks. So what I'm going to do is take that off, and I think I might have the socket for that as well, what plugs into it. And if I have, I'm going to take it off of wherever I find, trim these off and solder them to it, put that, if I can find it. If not, it should work just plugging straight into that. Actually, to be fair, I could just use that, one of them. Right, so here you go. So I've hot glued it there. I had a heat shrink over this, but when you push that together, it's pushing the pins out, so it won't make contact. So the screen won't come on. So what I've done is took the heat shrink all back off and did it again, but filled it with hot glue in there, just to hold those pins in place. And that disconnected and it popped off while I was working on that. So yeah, like I said, I didn't think that would last long. I'll have to figure something else for that. I mean, it'll hold so long as I'm not working in it, but if I go to sell this and then somebody starts playing about with it, that's just going to pop straight off, which is yeah, not good. Yeah. So put the lid back on, and that goes on there. Where's me? Show me. LED lights are lined up. There you go. And that end should, he says. There we go. That's it. All together. Right, let's flip you round. There we go. Oh, Prince of Persia. So there. Oh, caught it in mid-flight, didn't I? Reboot it. Yeah. Oh. Alright, so Plasma Tech, the old demo. There you go. You see what I mean by the keyboard. It's slightly yellowed, even though I retrobrated them. Yeah. I'm not going to bother with getting a new keyboard for it or anything. Just stay like that now. Yeah, I'm a perfectionist, but I'm not keeping this either. So this would probably go on sale as well. I don't think I'm going to bother about the acceleration card. I'll leave that up to the next owner. Yeah, one fun. That was bloody hard work, that was. So as you can see, now it's running. In case if I press the dial button, the OLED screen's lit up. If I pop the case off, lift the lid out the way, the OLED screen's still there. What I've done is put some gaffer tape on the, what I've done is put some stick back foam underneath the screen to stick the screen down a bit, but also when you put the case lid on, it pushes against the screen, pushing it down slightly, give it a nice tight fit, so to speak. Yeah. Like that. Like I said, I'm not 100% sold on the paint job. I think it's a nice colour, just the keys spoil it, keyboard. So if somebody else goes and buys this, you might want to swap the keyboard out for the better one. Yeah. Other than that, job done. Yeah. So you might see me next week if I decide I'm going to do something with that other board or repair the other one. Well, I'm going to repair the one because I need to take the video resistor pack off the 500 plus and put it back on the 500. Yeah. So my 500's back up and running. Yeah. Anyway, I enjoyed that build. Hope you learned how to do that rather than buying that stupid great big plastic growth up here for $14.99 off of eBay and then sticking an OLED screen in it. This way it's nice and clean. It takes more effort, but the end result is a lot better. And stay away from the growth. It's just ugly. I mean, even if you do want the OLED screen on top, there's a couple of videos on what I did with the OLED screen on top without a big massive growth thing on top, just a slight angled bezel, and that was it. And you can feed the wires through the grills on the 1200s and 600s and the 500s, so you don't need that big chunky thing up there. It just looks so good. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you've learned something. If you're not sure about anything that I've done, just drop it down in the comments and I won't answer it. If I'm back next week, bonus. If I'm not, bonus for me. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, maybe.
Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night? Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah.